Hey guys, we're out at one of our other yards today. We're going to be continuing pulling honey off. We didn't have the greatest honey flow this year, but it was okay. It wasn't exceptional. We'll take what we can get. We just bush hogged this field about a week ago and plowed it up, getting it ready for deer and turkeys. So got a lot of work still to do. It's not just going to be pulling honey. We got to take care of the properties that our bees are on and all that good stuff. And right now is when we're going to start prepping for winter. Winter prep starts in the summer, in my opinion, and goes through August. August, the most crucial month to get your bees ready to go into the winter in our area. We're going to bring you along, show you the difference, how temperature can affect using a fume board. It does play a role in it, and you'll see, hopefully in some of these shots that, it can absolutely be hard on your bees, so you got to be careful with it. So stay tuned and we'll show you how we do it. Okay guys, on this one, this is a split we done a little while ago. It's over a double screen board, bringing in a lot of pollen. The pollen flow is about over, and we're actually, a lot of these colonies that are still smaller, we're going to be adding pollen supplement too. We want that queen to keep laying to build these colonies up. I want to get all of them into a deep and medium box before the winter gets here. There's our queen right there. That's one of our queens we raised. She's looking good. I about squished her with my finger because the frame slid. Be careful wearing gloves. It's harder to work bees with gloves on, but we get tired of getting stung in the hand all the time. There she is, actually laying an egg down in the cell, if you can get that. She's carrying on with her day-to-day activities, so we're going to leave her alone. This colony's looking good. It's right on the money where we want to be. They do need some feed. They need sugar syrup on them, and we're going to give them some just as soon as we get back from vacation. They got enough to get by on. I'm not worried about them starving, and any of them that we are worried about starving, what we're going to do before we can get back and get feed on, we're just going to throw a honey super on top. As you can see, there's not much honey stored around the top rim. I don't like to see that. I want to see honey up top. They've got very little. So this colony is using all they've made and all they could get to build up on, which is okay. It was a small split, and we're gonna take care of them. We're gonna get them fed. Okay guys, this has been a troubled colony for a while. I don't remember if they went to a drone layer. I believe they went drone layer. And we requeened it. And I want to see what they're doing. Honestly, to the point, I'm ready to just shake this colony out and be done with it. I'm tired of wasting time and resources on it. Just want them to keep spinning their wheels. They're not building up the way they should. They hadn't been building up the way they should. We did requeen it. We'll see what she's doing. And if she's looking alright, we'll let them go. If not, we're going to get rid of them. Okay, well, she's trying. She's trying to build this colony up. That's not a bad pattern. And I don't remember when we installed this queen. It's been a while. And it wasn't a queen. It wasn't a mated queen. It was a cell. So that does take a little bit longer. But she's doing a job in here. I mean, she's trying to build this colony up. I think we'll be okay. We'll just have to feed this one heavy and get them ready for winter that way. Okay guys, on this colony, it's a pretty large colony. They have been kind of defensive in the past, but we should have a decent amount of honey to pull off from this colony. So we're going to show you how we're doing. We're going to use the fume board. Keep in mind it's about 90 degrees and it's hot, so we don't want to leave that fume board on longer than necessary to get the job done. Because it's really rough on them. It'll run them out of the bottom of the bees, really disorients them and confuses them. So we're going to put some Beagle on here, and keep in mind it's going to be less than what we needed the other day when it was cloudy. That's all I'm going to put. I can smell it. Ugh. It's awful. It smells like vomit. If anybody's never used Beagle, it smells just like vomit. It's bad. It stinks. It gets in your clothes and everything. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just lay this on top. But I'm going to crack it just a little bit. This kind of helps because it's so hot outside. And that'll still push the bees down, and we'll show you whenever we get ready to take it off. One thing to keep in mind, guys, when you're pulling your honey off is always bring some lids so you can close these boxes up. You can start a robbing situation real easy. And robbing's one of those things I always try to avoid. It's aggravating. It's hard to stop once it gets started. So a little bit of prevention goes a long way. So what he's doing, he's just going to stack these boxes up. And we're going to put lids over the top of them to keep any bees out, and that way we prevent our robbing. Any honey we spill here, we got a bucket of water to take care of. We do our best to stop robbing before it starts. Okay, if you look, you can see how it's cleared the super of most of the bees. A lot of them will come out whenever we get back home. They'll blend into our other yard, and what don't will end up in the honey house. Weighs about 50 pounds, something like that. And like I said, we're going to leave this super of honey on for the bees to get them through the dirt, just to alleviate some of our feed costs. We used to take it all and feed them back sugar syrup, but sugar's getting expensive, and honestly, we don't have a big warehouse or anything to store our sugar in to keep it from insects and mice. So we have to use it, and we can't buy it in advance, so we have to go get it. So we're going to try this strategy, see if it works. Okay guys, every so often you do have to reapply the Beagle. Not a lot in this heat. But a lot of times if you apply it too heavily and too thick, the bees just sit in there and they just kind of shake, and it's almost like it makes them nauseous and sick, and they don't know what to do. So the least amount you can get to get effect of pushing them out of the super, the better you're going to be. Like I say, start small and just gradually increase it if you need to. Okay guys, another reason we're getting them done now is we could wait another week or so, maybe 2 weeks before we pulled any, but we've noticed some varroa mites on some bees, so we're going to go ahead and go through with oxalic acid to 1 rounds of 5. Now keep in mind, with brood present, it's kind of like spitting in the wind, so if you're basing your sole mite treatment on oxalic acid vapor, you might want to rethink it, especially with brood present. It's good when it's broodless or there's not any brood in the wintertime, but when there's brood present, it's not going to do a lot for you. But it will keep the mites from, it won't reduce your mite population, so to speak, but it'll keep it from growing exponentially. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to follow that up with a Apiguard treatment. We just want to knock down all the mites that we can possibly knock down. It's a lot of work. It'll be 5 treatments, 5 days apart. And I'm not sure if we're going to do it early morning or late in the evening because it's so hot. It's hard for us to get it done by the time it starts warming up and the bees start flying. So we may actually do that at nighttime when we know all the bees are home. But just keep in mind, if you're just going to do your mite treatment with oxalic acid vapor, you're probably going to lose a lot of bees, especially when they have brood present. In there. Put it up here. Yeah, put it in your pocket so you don't lose it. There you go. You got it?
Yes. That hurt. There you go. You want to set it up there? No. It hurts.
Okay guys, on this colony, it's fairly large and it had a lot of bee population in it. So they're going to need some more room for heat because it's going to be so hot. So we're going to leave 2 supers on this colony instead of 1. Plus they're going to need excess food. Don't think just because you leave 1 super of honey on a large colony that they're going to make it through the dearth. Honestly, I mean, sometimes, they need food within a week or 2, depending on how big the colony is. And you may have to be over there feeding them. I'm not saying they're going to starve to death in a week or 2, but if they don't constantly feel like they have plenty, that queen's going to shut down and she's not going to lay near as much, and then you're going to have smaller clusters going into the winter, and your mite problem's going to keep spiking, and if you're not doing your mite treatment, so it can cause a lot of problems. So make sure they got plenty and always feel like they have plenty. Okay guys, another thing to keep in mind, a lot of beekeepers, after they pull their honey off, they kind of forget about their bees for a while. They've been working hard and they just kind of put their bees to the backside. They've made a crop of honey, and that's great, but right now if you don't start preparing your bees, there's a good chance you might lose them in the winter. Don't forget about them once they made your honey crop, because the summer dearth is a real stressful time. We lose more bees here in late summer than we do in the winter time, just because of the stress and the mites, and they get stressed out and they don't build up the way they should during the summer. So by all means, take your honey off, enjoy your honey crop, but also take care of the bees that made you that honey crop, because they're going to need your help after you get it off. A lot of times when you take the lids of these fume boards off, the bees are confused. They try to get out of the box any way they can. They're sitting on top of the fume board. That's okay, just to leave it open. I didn't crack it where they can get out this time because it's getting hot, and I really just need them to get out of the super. And they didn't have a way to get out. They get confused. They don't know which way to go, up or down. So keep in mind and do it as fast as possible.